Hare Krishna, everyone. So, as you can see from this picture, it's the tying of the Rakhi, is a sacred thread, the sister to the brother. So, Raksha Bandhan actually is observed on the last day of the lunar calendar, month of Shravan, which is today. The expression Raksha Bandhan literally means the bond of protection, obligation, or care between the protector and protectee. As per the Hindu tradition, it's been popularly known to celebrate the love between brothers and sisters who may or may not be biologically related. So the sister ties a Rakhi, a sacred thread, on her brother's wrist and prays for his prosperity, while the brother gives her a token gift and a promise to protect her. So have you ever wondered what the story behind Raksha Bandhan is? Why is it that every year so many women go crazy looking for the perfect band for their brother? Well, as you might have already guessed, there are many stories in the Bharatiya history that mention this festival, each with similar morals but different contexts. So here's 4 compilations that I've found, which are most popular. So who tied the first Rakhi? So according to legend, it's Yamraj and Yamuna Devi, who are brothers and sisters. So Yamraj is the Lord of Death, who is blessed with eternity, as his sister Yamuna tied a Rakhi thread on his wrist. Since that time, the festival of Raksha Bandhan is associated with the tying of the Rakhi thread. So this is a told version of Yamraj and Yamuna Devi. But the most popular pastime is that of Lord Krishna and Draupadi, the wife of the 5 Pandavas. So the story goes as follows. On Makar Sankranti, Krishna cut his little finger when handling a kite, and his queen Rukmini immediately sent an official to get bandages. Meanwhile, Draupadi, who was watching the entire incident, cut off a little bit of a sari and tied his finger with it to stop the bleeding. In return, Krishna promised to help her out when required. And that is the story behind the help Krishna provides during the unceremonious disrobing of Draupadi. Krishna came and made her sari never ending, saving her the embarrassment by giving her protection when she needed it the most. And also, actually, someone was mentioning it when we were discussing it yesterday, that Krishna also protected her with the Akshay Patra when Durvasa Muni actually came with his entourage and they didn't have anything to eat, and then Krishna turns up and protects the Pandavas from Durvasa Muni's anger. So this is a pictorial version of Krishna providing saris to Draupadi in the court of the Kauravas. There's another story of Alexander the Great and King Puru or Porus. So this goes back to 300 BC, during the time when India was invaded by Alexander the Great. It's believed that the great conqueror, King Alexander of Macedonia, was wavered by experiencing the fury of the Indian King Puru in his first attempt of defense. So on seeing her husband's plight, Alexander's wife, who had been aware of the Rakhi festival, approached King Puru. King Puru accepted her as his Rakhi sister and he refrained from the war against Alexander. So during that war between Puru and Alexander, there's a moment when Alexander fell from his beloved horse and Puru was about to kill him. He remembered the oath made to his sister through the bond of Rakhi tied on his wrist. Therefore, he refrained from slaying him and ultimately lost the battle. Just a pictorial version of King Porus and Alexander here. There's another story of Rani Karnavati and Emperor Humayun. So the story of Rajputna Rani Karnavati and the Mughal Emperor Humayun is another popular story in history. In medieval era, Rajputs were fighting and protecting their kingdom from the Muslim invasions. Rani Karnavati, who was a widow, queen of the king of Chittor, she realized that she could not protect the kingdom from the invasion of the Sultan of Gujarat, Bahadur Shah. So she sent a Rakhi thread to the Mughal Emperor Humayun. The emperor was overwhelmed by this gesture and started off towards Chittor with his troops while wasting time, and he helped Rani Karnavati against that invasion.
Guru Maharaj actually talked about this pastime.
Okay.
One of his last lectures in South London.
This is a picture version of Rani Karnavati and Emperor Humayun there. So basically, these are the 4 popular stories. And so you're supposed to wear the Rakhi until Krishna Janmashtami, which follows 8 days later. The Rakhi is typically on the full moon, which is a bright white night like Balaram. Janmashtami is on the 8th day of the waning moon. So Krishna was born on the dark black night. So it's going from Balaram to Krishna, basically. Imports of Raksha Bandhan among the other religions in India. So in Hinduism, this festival is mainly celebrated by the Hindus in the northern and western parts of India, along with countries like Nepal, Pakistan, and Mauritius. In Jainism, this occasion is also revered by the Jain community, where the Jain priests give ceremonial threads to the devotees. And in Sikhism, this festival is also a brother-sister festival, and it's called Rakhardi or Rakari. So that's the information on Raksha Bandhan.
Anybody who'd like to share any pastimes that they are aware of? Or any questions about Raksha Bandhan at all? Okay, otherwise.